Hello, thank you for tuning in to Southeast Media Sunrise, dedicated to giving a voice to authors of all genres. I'm your host, Jodi Hockinson. Joining us remotely today by phone is Howard Sambol, author of Craft Your Genius Life, Move Beyond Limiting Beliefs and Fulfill Your Destiny. This is a lifelong toolkit for your present situation and your successful future. As a major innovator and thought leader in the field of life transition, Howard Sambol has guided many people to craft their genius life over the past 3 decades. After working closely with Michael Gerber, best-selling author of The E-Myth, Howard won Top Sales Award with an international consulting firm. He has also spearheaded the first ever online career program on AOL. Welcome, Howard, and thank you for joining us today.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's a pleasure to be here.
What prompted you to get into the specialty of life and career transition?
Well, I started out many years ago, Jodi, in the field of mathematics, and my original career goal, was to get my doctorate and teach at university. But the universe had a little bit of a different plan for me. And along the process, I discovered that was really not ideal, and that really I was my destiny, you could say, was moving into personal development, business development, and bringing a spiritual focus to that with tools like astrology. And so going through that transition way back a long time ago, before we had the tools of today, got me inspired to want to help others do the same thing.
So what have you found to be the greatest challenges people face in creating a successful and fulfilling life?
I would say that number one, the biggest thing that people grapple with is that they're actually living with a lot of limiting beliefs that are invisible to them or transparent. They don't really know that they're looking through a lens that's already been defined in terms of what is possible, what is not. Now, the good news is that they can change those beliefs, but they really need to learn how to do that. And that's not really an easy task because beliefs can't really be changed intellectual or cognitive level. Concretely, the biggest challenges people face is they lack clarity about their life purpose, their passion, their unique gifts or genius. And most people operate with what I call a external orientation to life, which means the answers are all outside them rather than inside them. And even if they know something they truly love, they're still unclear how to make money with it, how to turn it into something profitable, which is, a whole distinct separate method or skill to do that.
So how does your life crafting system address these challenges, and what's different about your life crafting approach?
I would say that fundamentally, Jodi, we are extremely holistic and we use a systems model, a systems approach. We bring in very specific tools in a distinct sequence of steps. When we actually use the Maslow hierarchy of needs, satisfying needs. So we help people make sure that they have what I call a taxi job or some source of income where they can comfortably pay their bills, not struggling financially, because that puts a damper really on everything. Next, we help them get clear. We do a deep dive. We help them get clear on their purpose, their unique gifts, and then following that a market niche or, the target population that can most benefit from their gifts and doing what they love. And then while all this is going on, we bring in the spiritual development, the personal development, and the amazing power of astrology that gets blended into all of this on a distinct track. So there's a synergy between all these different levels. But ultimately, the goal is having a successful business, learning the marketing, learning the sales, doing all the parts that people need to really make it successful.
So speaking of astrology, how does that fit in with your life crafting system? And what information can a person learn from their birth chart? Can you make predictions about their future?
Well, astrology, there are huge misconceptions about astrology. It is not like, it is not predictive, it's not psychic, astrology is an ancient and profound tool that's both scientific on the one hand and very creative on the other. Your birth chart reveals your unique journey and your unique learning experiences, your lessons, your gifts, your opportunities. Gives us the cycles. It helps us to see the cycles of growth in your life. I refer to it in my book as the cosmic clock.
I noticed in there you're talking about when a person turns 29.
Yeah, let me share a little bit about that. At the age of approximately the age of 29, a person goes through what we call a Saturn return. And a Saturn return is exactly what the name suggests. The planet Saturn returns to the exact position it was in at your birth, and that's a very important completion of a cycle in life. Most of the time at the Saturn return, people make new decisions. They go through some uncertainty. They try to rethink their values, their priorities, their career decisions. So it really is a very important time to get guidance and to get clarity about your path.
What if someone's strongest interests are creative, such as in the arts? Can they still make money? And if so, how?
Well, money is the bottom line, Jodi, with money, that it's really a function of value. The more value you create in the world, the more money you make. And of course, there's an element of perception too. The perceived value is really the actual value. Mm-hmm. Most creative people actually have numerous skills and talents beyond their specific art or area of artistic activity, but they usually don't know what those things are. They usually don't have the means or take the time to see the broader landscape and the big picture. So what we do with creative types is we really drill down, we peel the onion, and help them to see the big and create value with their creativity, which invariably creates tremendous value in the world.
What do you recommend to people who are introverts and believe they cannot sell themselves?
That's a really great question. I get asked that a lot. The bottom line is there's no one personality type for success. Being true to yourself, or what we often say, or authenticity, is the key. Introverts have many advantages. They often make great communicators, and they are able to be disarming. In other words, people find them to be safe to be with. So a confident introvert will just say, for example, a confident introvert is going to be like an amazingly powerful person in any arena, and certainly in the business world.
Okay, yeah, very interesting. Do you use spiritual principles like the law of attraction? What do you say to people who claim they tried it and it didn't work for them?
There's a couple of misconceptions that are pretty pervasive about the law of attraction. Yes, we do use the law of attraction extensively in the book and in the life crafting program. Well, I'm going to share the two biggest misconceptions. First of all, how you attract your desired goals, or how you attract those things in life that you most want. It happens through energy, and energy is not pure thought. Well, thought is energy, and visualization is also powerful. But the most powerful element in the law of attraction is feeling energy. In other words, when you are in an emotionally congruent mind state to the thing you desire, and you literally experience like it's already happened, and you feel it in every bone of your body, that's the most powerful way of using the law of attraction. Now, the last piece is most people have limiting beliefs that I said earlier that they don't know about. If you have strong limiting beliefs, even if you apply the law of attraction, they're going to work against each other. So you need to apply the law of attraction and additionally shift the limiting beliefs so they're not getting in your way. Otherwise, it's like putting your foot on the brake and the accelerator in your car at the same time.
How do you guide Gemini types who have multiple interests and have difficulty staying focused?
This is really one of my favorite things, to be honest. I love helping those types. And one of the reasons is because Gemini types, and also, of course, Sagittarians are similar to this, they have so many interests and such diversity and variety and they're oftentimes scattered. And what advisors like career advisors or experts will tell them is, oh, come on, just pick one thing and do it. The worst possible advice you could ever give a Gemini. Yeah, the worst, like, can't go against their nature. Their nature is to be insatiably curious. That's their nature, okay? You don't want to force people to do something unnatural. So the answer with Gemini is really the metaphor of the pot of soup. Like I tell them, you got a pot of soup and you're putting everything into it that you love and all the things that are important in life and meaningful in life and on and on and on. And guess what? They're all going to blend together and they're going to become magical at the end. Mm. So when you serve the soup to your friends at dinner time, they'll love it, but it won't taste like one thing you put into it. It's a composite of all of that, you know? And so here's the phrase. The magical phrase for Gemini is coherent diversity. Coherent diversity. Mm-hmm. So let yourself be diverse, but connect the dots between all the parts. And that's how the magic occurs.
So as you were developing the life crafting approach, what type did you find yourself to be?
Oh, well, I'm a Taurus. You know, I'm an April 20 Taurus. So I'm the type that's kind of like one step at a time, very deliberate, but also with a bubble of like creativity, visionary, ideal visionary, soul, and metaphysical all blended in while I'm taking one step at a time. So you can see what I mean. There's a real flow there. There's an integration there.
So let's talk about procrastinators. What about procrastinators who remain distracted or unclear on their priorities?
Okay, so the bottom line is that everybody needs an effective support system in life, where human beings are not suited really to be lone rangers, to doing things on their own, because they will tend to be their own worst enemy. I'm sure you've probably heard of that. Yeah. So what an effective support system consists of is things like structure, goals, purpose, direction. Feedback is critical. The ability to make promises and keep them, and then coaching. Procrastination only means that you have either resistance to something or inner conflict or beliefs that you need to work through. That's not bad. It just needs to be looked at and addressed honestly, rather than what most people do with procrastination is they try to force the issue. So I take issue with the Nike slogan of just do it, because it's not always the answer, really. Mm. You have to look deeper.
Yeah, I remember in your book how you mentioned that a judgment is actually just another form of belief, and I found that interesting.
Yeah, I mean, when you become aware and you become non-judgmental and accepting of all parts of you, so there's no inner conflict, you're allowing and including everything, then that allows you to really be empowered, because you're not at odds with everything. You're using everything to further your ultimate direction and goal.
So tell me how you guide people who often feel stuck with fears and doubts or lack confidence.
Well, I mean, we know that confidence comes from success. So we have a certain idea in life crafting called the confidence success spiral. It's a very powerful tool, and that basically is take a super tiny baby step, achieve success with it, even if it's super small, build confidence, take another baby step, have success, and then keep progressing on that spiral where you naturally build momentum as you go. And that's the formula that really works most of the time. Now, if you're doing that and you're aligned to your purpose and truly what you love, which is going to bring huge energy to the spiral, and if you encounter fears and doubts along the way, they're not bad. They're just guideposts to tell you, okay, there's something here to look at. There's something here to look at. What are the beliefs that are going on underneath the surface generating the fears and doubts? And we can unravel and we can see those beliefs. We can discreate them and replace them or transform them to something really empowering. It's not, none of these things becomes really truly an obstacle. It's all opportunity, really.
So, speaking of that, that reminds me, when I was reading your book, it's meant to be an interactive book between what people read and what's on the website that they're offered that go along with the book at no charge. Am I right?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct, Jodi. Absolutely.
And I like the fact that the book was concise because it makes you feel when you look at it, oh, this is something I can get through easily. And then it just takes you just like you were saying just now, step by step. So you just go to this one step and it says, go to this spot on the website and do this exercise. So you don't feel overwhelmed by the looks of the book or by the looks of what you read in the chapter. It's just step by step.
Jodi, that's exactly right on the mark. That we want people to see this as a journey, and we want them to see it as not only a process and a journey of learning, discovery, in stages, but also a partnership with myself and in our group, our team, and our community. And so that's the reason why we do it this way, because if we just have a book, we give people everything, well, they go off, put it on their bookshelf, you know the routine, and then they on forever. But by bringing them into our community and giving them the bonus membership that we offer and giving them all the actual exercises, all 18 life-changing exercises that are mentioned in the book, but not really included in the book, except for 2 of them, then they have huge amount of value, so far beyond the book itself. I mean, just it's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. And who are the people that are an ideal match to your life crafting program?
I would say people who are at a stage in life, which could be at any age. It's typically going to be late 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, but it could be any age. People who feel ready and eager to embrace their ideal path. Like, why am I really here? And they really want to zero in on that, and they really want to make money doing what they love. They're open to growth, and they're willing to make some kind of an investment in their future success and in having a successful business. Now, sometimes people have been in the corporate world for a while. They're not quite sure yet whether they're really cut out for being an entrepreneur or being a business. Mm-hmm. And I love speaking to people like that for the simple reason because, again, there's so much disinformation out there regarding entrepreneurship. You know, it's like 40, 50 years of indoctrination telling people that jobs are safe and secure, where in business is not. And actually, the reverse is actually true today. It's ironic. The reverse is really true, that business is a much safer long-term path of entrepreneurship. If people tend to be back with us, no matter where they are, as long as they have that curiosity.
So what special offers do you have for our community that will help people get started crafting their genius life?
I would say that if you're in the situation where everything we discussed today is you have sort of a mild curiosity about it, or you just kind of whatever you just want to explore this, what I recommend is go to my little handy short little website, which is Howard S. the letter S 360.com. HowardS360.com. And what will happen, like on your phone, typically on your mobile phone, you'll see an image come up with a book, and if you tap on it, it'll take you to that bonus membership I mentioned earlier, and all you do is sign up there. What you're going to get the whole membership, all the exercises, and you'll also have a link in there where you can download a PDF version of the book, which is kind of practical in some ways more than the printed copy, and it's free. So you get the free book, you get the PDF, you get the exercises, and you're also going to get access to our Facebook community, our Facebook group. So that's for those people who are, as I say, just kind of curious, want to dip their toe in the water and explore this. The other offer I'd like to make for the more serious ones who are, really, this is really landing for them in a big way and they want to move forward and connect with me personally, I would say go to the same site, the howards360.com, and the little X, that X's out on that image, and then tap on Contact. You'll see the button that says Contact, and then after that, Save Contact. So that allows you, phone or tablet, to save my contact information. Then, once you do that, you want to go to the VCF, in other words, the contact phone, and text me your name, your best email address, and the show, the name of this podcast show. I want to make sure that people are doing this from, a show, and I know where they came from, and then I will respond back to them quickly so we can get into a dialogue and we can schedule a time to talk. Sound good?
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. So anyone who would like to log on to that website, again, that is howards360.com, and be sure to mention the name of our show, Southeast Media Sunrise. Anyone interested in purchasing this book can log into semediapro.com or visit amazon.com. It's available on Kindle and in paperback. That's Howard Sambol, Sambol, author of Craft Your Genius Life. Thanks again for joining us today, Howard.
You're very welcome. This was really fun. I enjoyed your questions.
Oh, me too. And listeners, if you're interested in getting your book published, please visit us at semediapro.com and click on the book publishing link. This is Jodi Hockinson, host of Southeast Media Sunrise, Southeast Media Productions. Like us on Facebook at Southeast Media Productions or visit our website at semediapro.com.